Hello, it's Jimmy. Today I want to talk about rental real estate and why I don't have any and didn't really need any to become financially independent. But all the experts say that you need the passive income to become wealthy. I believe that real estate is a tool, but it isn't always necessary, and it really isn't appropriate for every person. I certainly have no issues with rental real estate, and I do plan on having some later on in my portfolio, but it will be just another tool. It won't be the whole thing. Like any good investment strategy, it's good to diversify, and you absolutely need to know what your investments are. You need to know how those different tools work and if they are appropriate for your situation. For me, early on, rental real estate would have not been appropriate. There's no way that I could have taken on a property in my 20s, as appealing as that would have been. Of course, when I was young and headstrong and thinking, oh, I can pretty much do anything. Rentals are a lot of work. I have been on the contractor side of that. I have painted them and done maintenance and even screened some tenants, which is very interesting. It's a lot of work. Now, that's fine. If you enjoy that sort of thing and you have the mind for it, great. It can be a perfect opportunity. But I would say there is so much work that goes into rental properties just from the maintenance side. Most people can't handle that. And then on the administrative side and the taxes and whatnot, that's a totally different skill set. And I'd say it's pretty rare to have people that can manage both sides of that effectively. So I would probably not call rental real estate passive income. It is very hands-on. Now you can sub out a lot of that work and administrative backside. You can hire a management company to do everything from screening the tenants to taking the calls at night for maintenance issues, everything. You will pay a lot in fees. For the most part, it appears you get what you pay for, but you do have to shop around and make sure those companies fit your needs and goals. I see the appeal in real estate. It is a tangible asset. It's something you can look at and touch. There's a lot of interaction with it. You can point to it and say, this is mine. Not necessarily in a braggadocious manner, but it's easier for some people to have a tangible asset that they can touch and feel and go look at and know that it's doing well. Is rental real estate necessary to achieve financial independence? Not in my case. Now, I had to do something other than real estate, and mutual funds in different investment vehicles have been the course for me. Again, I don't shun real estate. At this point, it's just not a big part of my portfolio. I'd like to get into it. It will have to be at the right time. The opportunity cost to buying real estate early on for me would have meant not fully funding my retirement accounts, and that really kind of was a goal for me. So I'm glad I did it that way. I'm not upset that I didn't do real estate. Actually kind of glad that I didn't get sucked into it. Man, if the internet had been more prevalent when I was in my 20s, yes, the internet was around. I'm not that old, but I could see myself perhaps getting caught up in that when you're young and think you can take on the world. Yeah, man, let's get some property because that's a cool thing to do. Looking back at that time in the economy, I'm glad I didn't get into that. I'm sure I would have been one of the people swept away in the GFC, Great Financial Crisis of 2009. Rental real estate is anything but passive. It requires a lot of work. Again, that's fine. Make sure if you want to do that you research the heck out of it. Make sure that it fits in your plan and that you don't just acquire stuff for the sake of acquiring it. This stuff doesn't take care of itself. In fact, if anything, properties tend to deteriorate, and that's where screening potential tenants comes into play. Again, a lot of work. There are a lot of rules about that as well, and being ignorant of those rules is no excuse if you get tripped up in something that is not acceptable. Now, I certainly wouldn't advise taking on debt to have rental properties, and that kind of goes against the grain of everything that I believe. I really don't want to be a slave to debt. I really don't want other people to either. When it comes to any type of investment category, there's a lot of reasons why that becomes super risky. I don't think people really have the stomach for that. I don't. Maybe some people do, but I don't know who those folks are. So do I believe that mutual funds are better than rental real estate? No, I don't think one is better or worse than the other. They're just very different tools. They require different temperaments and skill sets to work on them. But again, it goes back to educating yourself and knowing yourself and what you have the skills and temperament for. And it doesn't mean that you can't not have both, but you just have to kind of weave them into your life, not the other way around. If your life is spent serving your investments, I'd say you probably have your priorities backwards. Well, that's my little take on rental real estate. As always, thanks for watching, and I hope you're having a great day.